Plans for today, plans for tomorrow, plans for the week, plans for the month, plans for the year. I am a super planner. I think about my task every second, every minute. When I don't have a plan, I feel unsettled, like there's a missing piece I can't find. People say, "Oh, you're such a J," as if it's a personality carved in stone. Somehow, J became a label, almost a stereotype for someone who's organized, rigid, overly disciplined. But to me, planning feels like a basic survival. I'm not trying to be strict. I'm just trying to exist. So I started wondering, was I really born like this? Or did something shape me into who I am now? Because honestly, I wasn't always a J. I used to be a P, someone who wasn't considered structured or systematic at all. More flexible, more spontaneous. Definitely someone who wouldn't be described as structured. But life got heavier. University deadlines, group projects, joining society, responsibilities, expectations. One tiny little small mistake can affect so many things. Sometimes I imagine what life would be like if everyone were planners. Maybe projects would run smoothly. Maybe fewer things would fall apart. Maybe can perfectly handle sudden obstacles. But then, there are days when I feel like I'm the only one planning. When I'm preparing and everyone else seems to just wait till someone gives them an order. And when things fall apart, I feel frustration rising, anger coming up. Why aren't they organized? Is it so hard to keep their plans and keep rules? I began to criticize those who live without plans in their hearts. Somewhere along the way, planning stopped being a choice. It became a duty, a must-do. Am I too strict? Too rigid? Not flexible? Maybe I didn't become a J naturally. Maybe society rewarded my J-ness, and I wanted to be recognized by those around me. And that made me think, maybe it's not just me. Maybe a lot of us are being pushed to become Js without realizing it. Not because we love structure, but because the world rewards it. There's a certain pressure, unspoken but strong, to act as if everything is under control. To always say the right thing, do the right thing, be the right version of ourselves, be responsible, be a J. It was strange how easily I started to adjust my behavior, rehearsing it as if I were always being watched and measured, not dramatically, but quietly, subtly. But sometimes I wonder how much of my J-ness comes from that atmosphere, from growing up in a world where preparedness feels like a requirement. I grew up in a family that planned everything. Since I was young, my parents have emphasized that I should arrive 10 minutes early to appointments. We will leave the house an hour early, even if the journey only took 20 minutes. "Mom, we have so much time left now. Just go and wait then." There was always the idea of variables, things that could go wrong. Back then, it felt excessive. Now, I think it shaped me more than I realized, and I thought my parents seemed to acquire the J-ness later in life. Who knows? For the past 10 weeks, I started thinking about something unexpected. How much of who I am comes from choices, and how much comes from the systems, environments, and expectations around me. We've seen characters who adapt themselves to fit the world, not because they want to, but because they must. They plan, they control, they rehearse. And I can't help asking, am I planning because I'm a J? Or because the world keeps pushing me to be one? Because the world rewards me for being predictable? But the world also loves spontaneity. People say, go with the flow. People romanticize living without a plan. And I ask myself, what does freedom look like? Where's the balance? And what does the ideal amount of planning even look like? Right now, planning is both my strength and my challenge. If the world has given me this J-ness, then I want to learn how to carry it well. The ideal version of myself would be a flexible J. Someone who makes plans but isn't controlled by them. Someone who can adapt when things go wrong. Someone who doesn't panic when the schedule falls apart. I know that finding the balance between structure and freedom won't be easy. It might even be a lifelong task. But maybe that process, learning how to guide myself rather than tightly control everything, will be its own kind of growth. In the end, the question isn't whether everyone should become a J. The real question is how much of our personality is truly ours, and how much is shaped by the world around us. So, the answer isn't about choosing J or P. It's about recognizing how family, society, system, and even technology influence who we believe we are, and learning to live with the uncertainty, Maybe that's the real challenge. This world might have handed me a certain kind of J-ness, but how I use it, soften it, or expand it, that part is mine to shape. So, in this complicated world, I'll keep searching for my own balance, my own rhythm, my own way of being a J. And today too, I'll take one more step toward the version of myself I hope to become.